said this a lot lately. There's a difference in stress and weight. Okay? Stress is saying, I'm taking it away from God, I'm going to try to figure it out. And then there's the weight of the matter. Weight of being that example can be heavy. All right. Thanks for joining us on Purpose in the Pain. And we're back with Miss Gia and Miss Molly. And, well, we've had some great conversation. And these two girls, the wisdom in these two girls.
It's like I should have brought a notepad.
I know,
like
right?
taking notes or something.
That's the way I feel about it, too. It's like, oh, man, I'm just doing a horrible job managing my life. And then here are these two girls. They're slaying it here, man.
Slaying it? Am I going to have jealousy issues later?
Yeah.
Slaying.
Yeah. Miss Gia was telling us when she first got here that tell us you just got a new job
position. Yes, I work for the Department of Residence Life at Texas A&M. So I'm a tour guide. So the first face that prospective students see at A&M maybe could make or break if they want to study there. And
I bet it sure makes them want to study there.
I hope so. So I hold that with a lot of weight. I love being a front-facing person. So I love getting to have those connections, even if it's just for an hour-long tour. And so I started that job in March of this year. And a opportunity opened to become the program ambassador. So it's the next roll up, and you're not going to be a tour guide anymore. You're just going to be the ambassador representing our tours department. So we run the logistics. We do all the staff scheduling, where our staff is, when they are, where they are. I run all the staff development. So I work with all of our tour guides, make sure that they're up to date, being good tour guides. The staff meetings, I get to work with our tours coordinator, just our boss, the head. And so I applied for that position with encouragement from other tour guides and then encouragement from our current program ambassadors. And so it's like, I'm a sophomore. We have juniors and seniors who are probably more eligible to apply, but they encouraged me to apply. I went through that process. I interviewed on Monday. We had prayers about it, Molly and I and Ashley, and then I heard back just at 5:00 today that I got the position.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, God's doing big things in your life.
Yes.
But it's pretty cool, like you did say, you are a forward-facing person, no doubt. You love people and you love being interactive with people. But I think he's building out this mechanism to utilize all the strengths that he's planted in you. Through this hospitality thing, he's given you the ability to learn exactly how to interact in a one-on-one, but he's going to give you the backside of it too.
Right.
So you know how to organize and manage this stuff. And it's, gosh, I think God's got big plans for you.
Absolutely.
It may or may not be in ministry.
But wherever you go.
There could be a hospitality part of a ministry, like as a church or some other nonprofit. But it could be just at a large hotel chain.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, everybody that's in your direction in that hospitality, you get to impact their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never know what that person's going through, and that smile right there that's infectious from you to the people that work with you and under your direction. I'm real careful not to say for you.
Right.
But they work under your direction, with your leadership, that you never know what they may be able to impact.
Yeah.
When I've been in my whole career life has always been in service of some sort.
Okay.
And so I was in customer service and customer service manager and things like that. And because I just loved being with people, around people, helping people, whatever that looked like. And you may or may not be this way. I'm going to say that you probably are. But if there was a difficult situation or difficult customer or anything difficult, I wanted them to bring them to me. I wanted to it was a challenge to me. I wanted to have the opportunity to take that difficult situation and turn it around. And 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, just through loving people and caring and listening and all that. You came in and you're so mad, and through our conversation, you finally just let everything out, and it had nothing to do with anything that we're talking about right now. You came in with that, and just because someone gave you the opportunity to stop and tell your story for a minute, you were able to turn that situation around. And to me, that was always the highlight of my day. If someone was angry, if there was whatever it was, if there was a situation that most people would be like, oh, you don't want to deal with this one, I'm like, oh no, bring them to me. It was a challenge to me to turn that around. And whenever they left, they generally like, sorry, I came in here like that. I'm like, no, I'm glad you did. Glad we could, whatever it may be. And we're not even talking about why you even came into this place of business anyway, but it was just always a challenge. So that's probably something that you will probably encounter in hospitality, but you'll have the opportunity to take that situation and turn it around. And by the time they leave, they're like, man, I don't know why I came here. I'm so glad that I did, though. And that's such an amazing feeling. And it's not you, it's Christ in you that gives you those opportunities to take those situations and just make someone's day. We forget just simple kindness goes such a long way, and people are just always in such a hurry, and got to get to where I'm going, got to check my phone, got to check my email, this, that, and the other, to just simple kindness. We forget about that a lot. And so I'm just excited to see all the things that they're both going to be able to do, and big changes in the world they're going to be able to make, and it's going to be exciting.
What do you have planned, Miss Molly?
What do I have planned? Whatever the Lord has planned. I am working at Still Creek, like we talked about. So who knows where that might lead. Right now, it's kind of on an internship basis. But honestly, you never know. And with sociology, it's really fun because it's really all about working with people and interacting with people and kind of analyzing that. And honestly, I didn't set out to do sociology, but I think that was the Lord also. And honestly, I'm not completely sure yet, but I'm excited to see where it takes me. And I'm sure I'll end up, if I had to make my wildest guess, it would probably be nonprofit work or some sort of organization where I just get to interact with people and just get to work with them.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I pray that wherever we end up, we'll still have our friendship.
Oh, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it may take you down different paths, and you may be, miles and miles apart, but it's never gonna change. There are just some friendships that no matter what, it is always going to be there, and that's one that it's always going to be there, no matter, when you get married and have children and life goes different. Life goes different directions or whatever. You're gonna just pick up right where you left off, and you're always gonna hold each other accountable. You're always gonna be there for each other, and you're always gonna have a special love and bond. And it's gonna be one that other people are gonna be like, I want my friendships to look like that.
Yeah. There's one other thing too that I would just impress upon you two young women. And you had kind of hinted about. Being the example, and I've said this a lot lately. There's a difference in stress and weight. Okay, stress is saying I'm taking it away from God, and I'm going to try to figure it out, and it's a way it's almost an idol in and of itself, because there's some mechanism in there that you actually have control, right? And then there's the weight of a matter, which your dad and I both struggle with that in different ways, but the weight of being that example can be heavy, and it's not that the stress of it, it's the weight of it, because a decision that you make or an action that you do can have such far-reaching, deep implications for people, right? Especially when God sets you apart in the manner that He sets y'all apart.
Right.
One thing I would encourage y'all is you're still human.
Right. Grace.
You're still growing. You're going to make mistakes, and you can't be so concerned and focused on trying to be perfect. You've got to be able to allow yourself to have some grace. If you do make a mistake, just be courageous enough and humble enough to own it and say to whoever, hey, I made this mistake. I apologize for it. Recognize it and move on. Because there's just as much power in that as there is that you never made one.
Right.
Because people are able to see, wow, yeah, she fell or she did that, but yeah, she apologized and she fixed it, and there's just as much testimony in that. But I feel the same way in a lot of ways, that being that example, being that person that's kind of set over here, and it can be lonely sometimes too. So I just would caution you against that. Don't let that separate you out. You got a sister here, but God's going to give you a lot more sisters,
Right.
and a lot more brothers. For sure, for sure. And the other thing that I was going to say too, like about your parents, your mom, and is your mom still alive?
My birth mom is still alive. Yes.
Have you talked to her?
Yes. So after when I turn 18, I'm allowed to talk to her. And so it actually took me maybe like 4 or 5 months to talk to her when I was given, like when I turned 18. Right. I could have immediately called her, but I took some time. Right. And I opened back that relationship. So it's been about 1.5 years now. And it's been hard because my mom is still not entirely healthy, and so we're still learning how to have a relationship. There's sometimes where I needed to set boundaries, be like, I can't talk about this or talk with you when you're like this. But the Lord has given that relationship to me, and she's also initiating, and that's what you need, right? And that's what my stepmom is initiating, and so I mean, as much as she played a part in just the root of my life, I always love her. I don't think I can ever hate her. Like, that's my mom, my mother. There's always going to be a yearning for her and to have a mother figure. And she may not look like what others are, but she's trying. And I'm trying because I'm still learning how to submit to a mother authority now. And so, but yes, that relationship is open. She's still alive. And I'm actually going to go see her in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes.
Where's she at?
In Chicago. So I'm going to Chicago for a quick weekend and come back for school the next day. So
she's going to fly up there and fly back?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, so I'm going to see her. And
how exciting.
I have 2 half siblings with her, so she has 2 other girls, and so I just tell her, like, don't do what you did to me to them. Be there for them, and she is. Yeah, she is, and so
that's great.
Exactly.
I think God's going to keep restoring.
Yes, I will. Yes. I will show you after. Yes,
I think He's going to keep restoring that.
Yeah.
As we were talking about all this, the other thing that really got impressed upon me, especially like the conversation about your dad and your stepmom in California, and some of the things there that you don't necessarily agree with, and I don't know why this specifically came up for me, but it was just burning in the back of my mind, and that is that a lot of people give a lot of power to the devil, and he's not always there. Right, he's very seldom there. A lot of it's just human nature, just the sin. Just we brought sin into this world, and it just is what it is. But one of the things where he does specifically act, maybe not on a daily basis, but a clear and present attack, is an attack against the Holy Eucharist.
The what?
The Holy Eucharist.
Oh, okay.
So where Jesus gave his body and said, here is my body, broken for you to forgive your sin. Here's my blood to forgive your, to cover your sin. So where he gave his body and said, here is my body, the enemy has perverted that in the other way.
Yes.
And you hear so many people say, well, this is my body, and I will do with it what I want. I'll put drugs in it if I want. I'll drink if I want. I'll have promiscuous sex if I want. I'll have abortions if I want. This is my body. And I think that's one of the most egregious attacks that we've had. And so I think if you're aware that I don't believe that people are just, for the most part, people are just hateful to be hateful and want to live that way. There's a perception because there is a demonic attack. There's a stronghold there. I think if you're aware of it, cognizant of that, and you pray in a manner that you are trying to release those people that are under the influence, just to have the scales removed from their eyes so that they can see that Jesus gave his body to cover yours. And all he's asking is for you to do the same, to give up yours. He goes back to those that do not love themselves unto death. They're willing to give it up. So, I know that those can be some hardships. You see things a different way, but try to separate that from the person. That person, you want to love that person and be there for that person and have a relationship with them to work them through it. But pray against that, that God would open your eyes for it. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I just could not get it out of my mind as we were talking about it. You got anything else to add?
I don't think so.
I want to hear what you two young women would have to say to people out there in the world to encourage them or to give them that, what's your words of wisdom? Gia?
Yes. Now I can be speaking to a believer or I can be speaking to a non-believer, but know that you are loved by a great Lord, and I pray that you meet the Lord and you recognize just how much he loves you, and in turn, and that love, dedicate your life to him and to the global mission of letting others know about him, and so that they can know. So this is kind of like a Gen Z term, but what I say is we can't gatekeep the Lord.
She looks at us like we don't know what.
Okay. You know, I didn't want to offend or anything. So I know him, and because of that, I want everybody to know of him in turn. Yeah. And I'll never do anything to keep him just to myself, because kind of like what Molly was saying with her dad, like it's a gift to share. Absolutely. So our Heavenly Father is a gift to share.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's again profound words.
Yeah.
With the use of Gatekeep. With the use of a Gen Z slang.
What about you, Molly?
I would say, kind of bouncing off of Gia, it's just the concept of don't be afraid to go all in for the Lord, because I think so many people are okay with being complacent. And I would say challenge yourself to be on fire for the Lord. Don't let your heart grow cold or mundane to just how amazing he is. And don't be afraid to dive into scripture. Don't be afraid to dive into prayer, even if you haven't done it in a long time, or you aren't completely knowledgeable about it. I just encourage you. We have so many resources nowadays that we don't have any excuse for not having a relationship with him. So I would just say, don't be afraid of going all in, because it's the most beautiful thing whenever you're on fire for the Lord. Absolutely. And you just have that ongoing relationship with him where no matter what you're doing throughout the day, he's a part of it. And yeah, I think that's what I would say. Just go all in.
Yes. Yes. And can I say something about, so the name of your podcast, Purpose of the pain or from the pain?
In the pain.
Purpose in the pain. Yes, purpose in the pain. Now, you've had many guests over, and Molly and I are just one example of just our story. As it was unfortunate in the beginning, but the Lord highlighted that. So I'm more of a blunt and confrontational person. I like to say, you're not unique in having trauma, in having hurt. Everybody does. So do not victimize yourself but in turn, just relate to other people, sympathize with one another, have compassion, and then bring each other out of that together.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. You two are so inspiring. And this was everything that I thought it was going to be.
Oh, glad.
So good.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank y'all for joining. Again, another plug. I'm not going to say shameless. I'm proud to say.
This is the product. I mean, this is the product of what.
Yes, and it's not just Gia. There's Prince, and there's so many success stories. So y'all go to steelcreekranch.org. Find a way to get plugged in and support it. Do some research on the Whole Child Initiative. If there's any interest, you could reach out to the school and maybe get some information there. Look up On the River Time. Support that organization. Great organization. And if you haven't had any dealings or understanding about children and childhood trauma, look up the term ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. And so you kind of get to learn what those triggers are. And I can't remember, maybe one of y'all two know how many ACEs it takes for that 10. There's 10, but like how many of it really qualifies as a child that's at risk? Is it 3 or more or something like that?
I think it's 3.
Yeah. Just look them up. Do some research. Get to know, because I guarantee you there's kids that are affected in your life. There's people that are affected in your life, adults, and it'll help you understand how to interact with them. But thank y'all again for being on the show. Enjoy this. This was up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're going to go grab something to eat, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all on the next show.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.